Rami is now the super Viagra jockey. Could that
super
be
Viagra SVJ?
Super Viagra jockey. That's what an SVJ.
Oh my God! I should get that on a license plate.
Welcome back to the Dirt or Die podcast. My name is Duane, as JP lovingly refers to me.
It's
Duane. And I'm here, of course, with JP, my wonderful cohort, as well as Rami Mirza.
Hey.
The one, the only, the very talented, The Rami Show. Check it out on YouTube. And our good friend Jason Alter.
Hello? Oh, you got it right.
It is Jason Alter, for the record. We know it is. But
it's Aldine.
It's alteration.
He's going by Aldine these days, and the one, the only Mental Ward on
Mental.
the keyboard. Mental, how are you tonight?
Mental's like the Doc
Great. How are you guys doing? Totally.
I'm good. You know,
Or
this
Paul
week,
Schaefer.
Mental and Peanut Gallery, I wanted to talk about AUTOFEST.
Peanut
An AUTOFEST post-mortem, if you will, because
Post-mortem.
Post-mortem. We have a unique kind of situation here, which is that JP and actually Rami and Mental were all part.
Oh, that's my kind of Vegas AUTOFEST right there. Look at that.
No, you were not doing this episode.
Where was she when I was working the show?
This is for the next episode. Just cue
Next
it.
It
episode.
wasn't
Okay.
in the budget.
Cue
It was one of her or four of what you got. So,
So Rami
Yes.
was killing it at AUTOFEST, and JP, I want to get your perspective on, first of all, how the show went to you, everything that went into it. Was it a success? Was it a failure? Did you have fun? Was it so much work that you will never do it again? I also wanted to talk about like the perspective of someone that's doing it from the inside. You've done small shows. You do your own once a month, Cars and Cafe. This is a huge show. What are compare and contrast the two as well? And then
Sounds interesting.
Jason, if you have anything to add, you went as well, right? You had several cars, or did you have a car in the show?
I just had a car in the show.
Okay, cool. So we have all sorts of perspectives here. I came as a spectator mostly. I did have my car in the show as well.
Sure.
Porsche just
But I also, entered at the time that I'd say a lot of people would get there and then enter.
You had VIP entrance. You were preload.
I was
the day
preload
before.
for my
Yeah.
car, but then
And
as a
preload.
spectator, I came in with your typical
Yeah,
spectator.
with the norm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you and everyone else, because once I think it was 10 o'clock, we closed out the room. Look, answering your first questions, was it a success? By every measurable metric, other than one, it was. We tripled registrations from any year before. We quadrupled sponsorships.
There seemed to be a ton of tents and
We
sponsors.
had, and there were a lot of people contributing to it, and I will say that it was a great success, and thankfully for everyone in this room and a bunch of other people that aren't here, everyone involved, everyone that was kind of recruited stepped up. To their credits, everyone that was involved also brought something, like to the point, like Rami, thank you.
He did so awesome.
He
Like,
did. And
every time I came to the show, I preloaded or I came as a spectator, I saw Rami working.
Yeah.
Whether it was like I'm serious. Like he
It's
was bringing
true.
people in, he was waving cars, he was out there wearing all black in 100-degree heat. Like, props, dude. You did awesome.
But that's what I wanted
Like-
to say.
But what I was thinking in my mind
Hold
was
on,
like,
let me
okay,
make this one point, because Rami, you weren't prepped on this. This wasn't like, hey, today, Rami, you're going to be greeting everyone. You're going to be the Walmart guy, and you're going to be
He's old enough.
directing.
He's the Walmart
You're going to be
creeper.
the first face that anyone sees. That was not discussed. You just
No.
stepped the F up. And Mental, again, he ran the, kind of placing all the cars on the 18, where we had a mad amount of sponsorship cars out there, and then he had
Yeah.
to place all the individual display cars. And Jason dealt with that as well. And those guys just all, I didn't tell them what to do this year. I didn't.
Right.
There was no like meeting where it's like, okay, all right, here's everyone's responsibilities. You guys all stepped the F up, and cheers to you guys, because without you guys having done that,
It's because we love you, JP.
Yeah, and I know, honestly, Yeah, I know that's why. I know you guys were all doing it because we're all friends, and it's very
And Mental did the judging too.
well. Mental.
I gave away the awards, but Mental
Godspeed
did the judging
and,
with Godspeed.
yeah.
It's great.
And who was the third judge?
Rummy.
No,
I wasn't a
you were
judge.
the
The third judge was Elizabeth from Spring Mountain.
Spring Mountain.
Oh, right.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys recruited a female judge. this year. That
For
was great.
someone who doesn't know anything about the show, like, what's it like to build the show, or what's it like from
Good question.
from like your perspective to organize a show of this magnitude? I mean, this is as big as Luft, really, in terms of like Indiana for sure. I don't know if it'll be as big as this year's Luft, but
Yeah.
it's a big show, is my point.
Yeah, when you have thousands of spectators, hundreds of display cars, literally. I think we had something like 350 registered display cars, plus probably another 100 or 150 cars that came from sponsors, because a lot of the sponsors really brought a lot of stuff.
Yeah, truckloads of.
Yeah, literally, the double-decker truckloads of cars being brought in. Right, Vegas AUTOFest. They brought
Vegas AUTOFest.
3 truckloads.
I'm sorry,
of
Vegas Auto
McLarens.
Gallery.
Yeah,
Vegas Auto Gallery.
Their name is so close.
know.
And big shout out to him because he really brought it.
Yeah, he had like 4 of those double-decker car
And-
trailer truck
Yeah.
things, like the ones that they transport professional cars with, like from the
Right.
Yeah,
from
and it
the-
wasn't a
from the
bunch
docks.
of like
It was
cameras.
crazy.
Every car on that
all
trailer
ridiculous
was all
cars too.
six-
the ones you
cars.
jump in Dukes
Yeah.
of Hazzard.
Yeah.
Those,
They were the stunt cars.
So
Yeah.
yeah, trying to coordinate that many players, you've got the property, you've got the venue requirements are crazy. I mean, when you're talking about a golf course, there are so many restrictions. Luckily, the venue is very friendly because Chef represents the venue,
Right.
and he really, without his liaison, without him being basically the guy that runs that place, there's no way in hell we would get to do that. If we had
Right.
to pay for that venue,
Oh my God.
this show doesn't happen.
No.
right?
Yeah.
It's all because Chef happens to be
Kudos to
An
Chef, who's not
enthusiast,
here
yeah.
tonight. But
Yeah, even though he yelled at me for revving the engine, it wasn't
wasn't
me.
you.
It wasn't me. It was Nick.
guilty by association.
But yeah,
and
he
you
comes
did
out
buy
and
the car.
He comes out, and the best part, he comes out. He's like, "Oh, it figures it's you, Rami." And I was like, "Come on,
I saw him.
it wasn't even me." It was pretty funny.
I saw him go off on a couple biker guys that were having
Yeah.
fun
Doing
right
the
at the
same
paddock.
thing.
Yeah. Or,
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, when you ask like, what's it like being the person kind of like in charge of all that stuff, it's nerve-wracking.
yeah.
Because really, the number one thing that I'm thinking about all damn day until everyone's off the damn until like the bulk of everyone's out of there and gone, I'm not feeling good until
Right,
they're all
right.
gone because I'm always worried about safety.
It felt like a film set almost.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
what I compared
Yeah.
it to, because if as a director, you've been in this spot many times, you have that pressure, money, and you have a million questions coming your way like
Yeah.
constantly. So I could see it on your face, like, and there's 2 types of people: the people that could handle it, the people that can't. And you were able to handle it, so good job to
Thanks,
you.
man. Good
Even
job,
though we're
JP.
now enemies, because
Well, that's a whole other thing. Just because you hate us all and you've rejected us, but
that's
I
right.
get that.
That's right. I'm better.
Um,
I'm better.
Turncoat.
What did you do, Duane?
Turncoat.
What did you do,
that's another
Duane?
That's
conversation.
another. Yeah.
No, look, it's the thing that the film analogy is really good for anyone who makes films. Yeah, because if you're a director or an executive producer, you're just like,
DP, whatever. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's like, please God, don't let that lighting array fall over on a a people. You know what I mean? I mean, for
Are we
real,
on
right?
budget? Are we on
Yeah,
time?
are
you
we
know?
on the budget?
Did everything arrive?
The budget and the money and all the moving parts, that stuff, those are things that can be dealt with. Any
Yes.
problem can be overcome. But if there's a safety problem, if
yeah, true.
and there are things that are out of your hands, especially when you have the public and you have car guys, and as a car guy, I know that car guys are assholes and idiots. And it takes one
me.
jerk to not be paying attention in his stupid Mustang and he runs over someone's dog. Or
Right.
worse.
Oh God.
You know what I mean? And that's what
There's
I'm
a
thinking.
sense of
about.
entitlement with some
Yeah.
car people where they feel like
Mhm.
their car is the most
Heaven
important car.
forbid, I tell you
And
what.
actually, I ran
my
into
God,
that.
Jason, ran over the dog.
We don't decide
Ran
where
over
we
the
park.
goddamn dog.
Right.
You decide where we park, or whoever.
Whoever's in
And
charge
some
of
people
that,
don't
yeah.
like where they get parked. And
Oh, I had a few of those.
Yeah.
did you?
No,
Yeah.
not mentioning any names, but yeah, like, I paid a lot of money to be here. And I was like, yeah, I'm putting you in the best spot.
Mhm.
Are you? I'm like, yes.
It's
Oh,
like it's
okay.
like asking for a booth when you walk into a restaurant. Like,
Yeah.
oh, can we have that one over there? It's like then the person at the front. What are they called?
The host.
Maitre
host,
d', the
yeah.
host, whatever.
Maitre d'.
Maitre d'.
No, it's true.
Shows you how
People,
fancy
people
I
have
am.
no
I
idea.
didn't want to say anything. but
They're
yeah.
they're just they focus on themselves, which is, I mean,
Well,
okay,
this
that
way
makes
is,
sense. But yeah, when someone shows up to a
Rose
venue
petals.
like that, all they're thinking about is them, their car, their experience, and
Mhm.
True.
that's intuitive. Of course they are. Why they don't? Like, if you're doing your job, they shouldn't have to be thinking about all these other things.
Yeah.
But there are those people. Like we had a big issue. There's a certain type of car. I'll just say it's an American performance car that has a club, and they would not normally have been put on in what we call the red group, which was the 18th fairway. And unbeknownst to me, the creative director of the damn show, the president of that club said, "Oh no, we're supposed to be on 18. We're supposed to be out there." And it's like, okay, so you got to make that decision on the fly. And they're the worst of the worst. They're a bunch of old guys in pleated pants. They want to be out there first. They want the best spot, and then they want to get the hell out of there first. That's the thing
They're
we tell
leaving at like
everyone
11
in their
a.m..
email. It's like, you have to be here till 3:00. There's fire marshal rules. Cars can't be
I
moving
saw you
around in the
block
public.
off the thing
Yeah.
again. Yeah, I saw two people leave.
Yeah, and people try to get out, and it's like, oh my gosh, and people just do not understand how that stuff works. But whatever, it's fine. The biggest problem we had really, and we've got plans to address it for next year, is the parking issues. Those are always an issue.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
kind of
just,
like an island because it's surrounded by a bunch of homes, and it's in a gated kind of golf course or whatever.
Can I circle back a little bit?
yeah,
You guys are
yeah,
getting
yeah.
a little in depth on it. One of the things I noticed, which was interesting to me, and it might be naive of me, but every person that came up, I greeted them, told them how nice their car is, and I was genuine about it. There was always something interesting about each one of their cars.
Yeah.
They would talk about it like as if it was the only car there,
Mhm.
and they were so passionate about it. I was like, wow, and it made me realize, like, these people who were coming here, they love their cars. Like, they think it's the best thing in the world, like better than anything at the show, even if it's a hunk of junk, even if that amazed me.
They have
It
so
amazed
much
me.
energy and
Yes,
power,
and
or
passion.
not power, but
Passion.
passion in their car.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and it didn't
for
have
sure.
to be fancy. Like, it didn't have to be a crazy car. They were just so into it. I was shocked by that.
They typically have
It's
more
nice.
more passion than the very fancy car because
Correct.
a fancy car doesn't require any work.
Just
really.
requires
It's
money.
just-
Mental. He was the tip of the spear out there, man.
Oh, yeah. Mental was awesome.
All the folk, you want to talk about the guys complaining about where their car is. The person that had to deal with it the worst was big hair dude over there.
Mhm.
So Mental, what was that like being out there?
How did your hair handle it?
Yeah. It does seem like you have less hair.
I think it's some grays in there now.
I was
Yes,
worried about
my-
it towards the end. You look like you're
My hair handled it spectacularly, as
hair
it
did look
often
good,
does.
It did look good, yeah.
low humidity in all fairness.
But what was interesting, so the thing about you being a creative and a director on this show is you didn't want the Cars and Coffee firing line, all the cars lined up.
Right.
And there is a huge resistance to that.
Yeah.
This guy rolled up really cool Ferrari 308.
Awesome.
There were
Wait, the real
half
one,
a
right?
dozen
Yeah.
488 GTBs
There was a fear.
and 458s of various specialties. There was one 308. And I put him in a very special spot to kind of highlight him, and I parked him sideways. It was just going to be all these great pictures. He immediately asked if he could go park next to other Ferraris, drove down there, found no spots, drove back up, gave me static. I still put him in this great spot. And then later, as everyone goes to leave, he had moved the car and backed it in between two other Ferraris where you had maybe 2 feet of access on either side
Why?
to look at the car. And
So many
Why?
people
and
do
this is
that.
if you want to come see Las Vegas AutoFest, and this is the best part, is these cars are just not lined up in parking spots. They're set up. If you're an amateur
staged.
photographer, this is the place you want to go.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's the idea of the show, and so many people don't understand the idea of the segregation. It's like,
Whoa.
yeah, no.
Whoa,
seriously,
easy, JP.
Subject there, JP.
Yeah, I mean, we are a segregated show. That's all there is to it.
Oh, it's
segregation. Yes,
White cars over there, black cars over there.
German cars
but it's
on
not
the
that
red
we.
family.
It's not. We
Sausage
don't
German.
group the Porsches together with just the Porsches. We don't put the Ferraris together with just the Ferraris.
True.
We mix it all up. It's a diversity type of thing.
Ooh.
And the Porsche Club,
it's
like,
backpedaling.
that's the first thing they came to us. Like, we want to have an area where it's all Porsches. Like, yeah, we don't do that. And they're just like looking at me with this glazed look over their eyes, like, how can that possibly be? It's like, yeah, I know you've been to all the PCA.
Don't you know we're
we're not doing
Porsche?
that. And of course, if you went on the 18th fairway, I kind of let them handle their area, and of course, it was just a straight freaking line.
was
It was
totally
the
a
least
straight
interesting
line.
part of the show. So PCA, you guys,
That's a
screwed it all
shame
up.
too.
Yeah,
One
beautiful
of the
car.
neatest things, catching up on everybody's social media. Duane Wik on his, if you're not following him on the Instagram, you
There's
fell in love
nudity.
with that Testarossa
Yeah, Robert, really
Here's
cool
the
guy.
nudity.
and did an entire. And if
It's
you
coming.
just segregated it, you'd have never met him.
Very, very good point.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
mean,
good point.
there were a handful of
Lots of
Lamborghinis
good
over
points
there in
today.
the feature area next to the sand trap. That's another area that just like nobody understands that. Everyone wants to have their cars facing the inside of the fairway where everyone's going to be walking. But for me, I'm sitting there going, all right, I know
This
that
is JP
everyone's going to
right
be walking down that.
Totally. He's like,
It's true, but it's not just how it's going to be filmed. But I know where everyone's first impression
He's
of the
got a
show
lens.
is. It's when they walk by
Kubrick
the,
They can
style.
see
when
it
they're
across
coming
the-
across that that main area by the water. They're going to see all those cars surrounding the sand trap,
with
and
you
we
on
had
that
a land speeder in the damn sand trap.
That was great.
Right? Thank you. So having the cars facing the lake makes more sense because that's the most striking view of the cars in most situations.
And if
so
it's a 924, we push it right into the lake.
that was
Nice.
that was I know
Nice.
because you hate
Little risky
914s.
business. Yeah.
914,
Yeah, I
yeah.
like it.
One of these days, Duane will respect 914s. I know he owns one, but it's only in spite. We all know that.
It's a
no.
924, he said,
What's that?
because I own two.
No, he owns a 914.
Owned. Past
He
tense.
hates them.
Yeah.
If you're a regular watcher of the show, you know.
Ah,
true.
yes,
I-
yes, yes.
I hate him so much. I love him.
he bought the company.
responsive person, we had
Your
the
mic
Nash,
doesn't come through.
the
Okay,
58 Nash.
That thing was cool.
And
yeah.
Nash.
as
Oh, the
they
Nash
were
was
setting
awesome.
up and getting the cars group.
The girls
Uh,
love the Nash.
I put him square in the center of the fairway,
You did.
and he loved it.
That was great.
I love
I'm glad
this-
you-
I
I'm
love
glad
this-
you were able to make that happen.
I love the spot that you put the green 930 in. That spot was money.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's another thing. It's like
It's
we
like
put
right where
cars in
everybody
the
walks in.
bushes. We put cars in the gravel on the hills.
Yeah.
Though that
It's
group
like on
of
the rocks. It's perfect.
the group of G wagons that were all jacked up were like, see up there on the hill in the sand on those mountains.
Get up there.
Knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Go
Roll
park next
up
to
on
the
a rock,
defender.
do whatever you want to do. Exactly. And they're just like looking at me like, really? We can go up there? I'm like, yeah, do it. And that's the fun of
They camped out
of
up
it.
there. Did
Yeah.
you see them?
They had a bivouac.
The awning on the truck was
Yeah.
out, and they had like a little table set up, and they were drinking. I was like, check them.
I did. It's
pretty
I
cool.
Did see some lounge chairs in the shade.
Yeah.
Were those?
Well,
That
up
was
there,
great.
I'm okay with
not
that.
not those. There were like some others that got broken out.
Yeah, so we have the red group rules and the green group
Oh, that's
rules.
right.
So on the fairway, on
Which
the
no
18th
one knew,
fairway-
by the way.
Well, yeah, I'll read your goddamn email.
They were showing me the email. It was tough.
It was a wall
Next
of
time,
text.
just make the whole thing red.
That's it was big, huge
Everyone
red
red
bar
group.
on the top. You are in the
Or
red group
listen
as a
to the
person.
long-haired guy who tells you to put your damn chair away.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
Yeah.
Long-haired hippie people.
Well, yeah, and there was that one guy that showed up with his. We won't talk about him.
Norman
but
Bates
we'll talk
with his
about him.
mom.
Yeah, this one guy. He was like, I don't want to be in. I just
Is that the
be in a different
Gremlin
group."
guy?
No.
Oh my
No,
god,
the
that
Gremlin guy was cool.
Gremlin guy was
yeah,
cool.
that guy
yeah.
was awesome.
Gremlin guy was
He was-
great.
that was
Talked to
my
him for
favorite
like
car in
7
the
That
whole
car
show.
was
We've had
awesome.
run-ins with this guy several times before.
Oh, okay.
And he was, in fact, with his mom. So.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice. He's
he's
a
like
winner.
60,
Yeah, he's a winner.
All right. Well, we'll talk about more cars that were at the Vegas AutoFest right after this. Hey guys, I'm super excited to tell you about our sponsor, Guys Customs. That's Guys, GYX, _customs. That's how you spell it. Guys Customs bracelets. These things are amazing. Check them out. They're handmade in America, custom bracelets made to match your watch or your car. These things are unbelievable. I have 3 or 4 of them myself. My partner Michael Deeb has a bunch of them. They're pretty addictive once you get one. Each one of them are bespoke. We're talking carbon fiber. We're talking titanium. We're talking stainless steel, glass. There's none of this cheap Chinese garbage that you see a lot of bracelets being made out there. These ones are super high quality. They're made right here in America. When you go to Guys Customs on Instagram, it's about the only place that you can order one of these. When you DM the artist, you're actually reaching the real artist when you DM Guys Customs at Instagram. And she will make you a bracelet made to match that special watch, that special car, or that special person that has a special watch or a special car and they want something really, really cool in their life. They make the most amazing gifts. I get compliments on mine all the time. Everywhere I go, people are like, wow, that's really cool. You can see in the pictures, these beads, the colored beads are PTS. They're paint to sample. So if you have a specific color code for your car, she'll have beads made that are specifically painted to match your car or your watch. It's unbelievable. You got to get one of these Guys Customs bracelets. Check them out. They support us, and we really, really, really want to support them. Guys Customs bracelets. Hey, welcome back to Dur or Die, the Porsche podcast with Duane Wik and JP from Fascination. Duane, thanks for coming to Vegas AutoFest. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Sorry you had to wait in line in the buses. We're working on that. We got a plan. Unbeknownst to us, the Vegas, what is it, the Summerlin Park ballpark where we had everyone park when we had buses there and everything. Apparently on game days or when they have events, they close off one of those roads, Spruce Goose Road or whatever it is. We didn't know that. Nobody told us that. So they just closed it off and put cones out there. And so the buses and the video truck went to some other spot, which is different from where we told everyone to go, apparently.
The map showed like the parking lot over here.
Yeah.
The actual parking lot was not there.
Yeah, we should have had people on the ground out there in red shirts, but whatever. We'll work on that next year. I mean, the good news is that we had our job is to get people to go to a spot, and we did that. They showed up, and unfortunately, some people just flat out weren't able to get to the show. But we'll make that better next year. I think we've got a handle on it, and it's a good problem to have as a show promoter to be like, some people weren't able to get in.
It's hard because
Sucks,
it's peak time. It's like everyone wants to roll in at half hour after the show opens, right? Like 11-ish. So then you get 300 people waiting in line for, a 50-person bus or whatever it is. Yeah. So
well, and here's the other problem too, is that we put out in all the ads, all the promotions, and everything like that, parking at the ballpark, parking at the ballpark, parking at the ballpark. How many people are like, I'll just try to get parking up at the
Country
I'll
club.
find a spot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Rockstar. I'll get lucky.
I know JP.
Right.
I can roll right now.
Right. I know JP. I'm a sponsor. I'm a friend of a sponsor or whatever. And so what happened is, a couple hundred people tried that, and so the bus was just sitting there, couldn't move. So look, if the event says park at the ballpark, park at the dang ballpark, because that was a huge problem. The bus just couldn't get through. Yeah, and it wasn't a matter of the not having bus capacity, because if traffic wasn't so jammed up, the buses could have just gone. It wouldn't have been a problem. But whatever. Running a big event is a thing. I mean, you mentioned it is about the size of Luft's call. I mean, Luft 6, it took an hour and a half to get into that dang thing.
And
through
we
the
took
buses
a bus
and all the lines and all that stuff.
That's true. I forgot about that.
So, if you've ever been to Pebble Beach or any really big car show, they're in places that aren't used to having, thousands and thousands of people come and go. That the facility where the venue that we're lucky enough to have just is not equipped for that kind of volume. And that's just kind of the case with the big car shows. So.
Country club.
Yeah. So again, if you came to Vegas AutoFest and you couldn't get in, we're sorry. We really are, and we do appreciate that you tried, and we're going to do better next year.
We'll do better.
If I may say,
it'll be awesome. Yeah.
While we're talking about the logistics and parking and all that kind of, the backdrop and that entire facility is gorgeous. It is worth the hassle.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. It looks amazing. I mean, it's green with beautiful blue sky and purple mountains, and
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Spectacular.
If I do
Water.
say so myself,
Yes.
Pebble
Yes.
Beach
Yes.
is maybe the only place that's
Ooh,
prettier for a
yes,
car
you
show.
with the adjectives. Come on. And also, don't forget that all of the proceeds, am I correct on that?
Yes.
Go to the Children's Heart Foundation, which is pretty
Yes.
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yep.
So
That's another kind of fall down is that we let the charity kind
The
of take
volunteers.
Oh yeah,
they
that was a
volunteered.
fail.
We let them kind of collect the
Kids.
door, and because it's all theirs, it's their money, and they just were not equipped to do it. So I'm sure thousands of dollars were left on the table. And if you are someone that showed up to Vegas AutoFest and you thought, oh look, I'm getting one over, I'm just going to walk by and not pay. Well, okay, some kid that has cancer
Ooh.
didn't get your $10.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's you. That's on
true.
you. Think
Brutal,
about that when you're
JP.
going to sleep tonight.
that's true.
Brutal.
Make a donation. You owe them $100.
Yeah.
Make a
It's now
10x
tenfold.
donation. You suck if you thought you weren't getting over on any of us. You were getting over on a kid who's
A
dying.
sick kid.
Good job.
It just-
nice
Oh
work.
my
You
God.
win.
It
And
felt a
karma
little.
Wow.
is a bitch.
Yeah.
Wow.
It felt a little loosey goosey, like you just had a couple volunteers at the front, and then you had a table off to the side.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
were asking, "Hey, did you pay? Did you pay?" And
I had-
And
I had-
got
think-
charged
and for the
twice.
record, most people were not only like before the show opened. This one guy came up to me and he's like, "Hey, I didn't pay. I know that it's going to charity. Where do I pay? Because I came in
Right.
with my friend that
Right.
was part of the show." And I'm like, "Right over here." And we took a picture of him giving. He was the first donation.
Oh, I remember
And
that.
he pulled out. He actually it wasn't a Hamilton. He pulled out how much is what's a $100 bill?
$100.
Yeah, he pulled out a $100 bill
Nice.
and
I've
gave
never
it to
seen
him.
one.
Was it Franklin?
Yeah, it's Franklin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, good job. That's awesome. And I think most people that come to AutoFest are like that. So there really were
yeah.
only a small handful of people that didn't
Yeah, it's
fork
Franklin.
out
the
money.
Corvette drivers.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like some of our
just
sponsors.
kidding. Just kidding, Corvette.
Honestly,
I-
you're
I have
right
an
though,
SVJ
Duane.
now. I
I'm
have to have
seriously.
a wad.
The guys with some of the most expensive cars are the cheapest guys.
It's so true.
One of our sponsors, Fortis Motors. Shout out to Fortis Motors.
Yeah, Fortis, she
young
was great.
Group of people. Emily over there and her whole team.
Emily,
Yeah, she's like 21 and she owns a car dealership in downtown Las Vegas.
pretty badass.
Wow.
And she's awesome. And she was like, "Yeah, you know what? I want to buy 90 tickets to this show." So she
90?
90. She had a bunch of friends that wanted to come
Look
out.
at her.
That's almost $900 by my calculations.
That is
You
some
are
good
a math whiz.
Is that
I
the
gotta
new
tell you, you're
Duane,
sharp.
or-
You're quick. That's
really
quick.
good.
Yeah, so she just
That's how he
whipped
does
out the
his
credit
timing
card
on his
and
car.
paid, and that's and I don't know if 90 people showed up or 100 people showed up or whatever, but she was all about it.
That's awesome.
All
That's
the
really
sponsors were great, right? I
Yeah,
mean, I
all the
wish I
sponsors
could
are great.
remember
I
all of
interviewed
them.
all of them.
Yep.
They were great. I interviewed, Finley. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Finley
Finley.
Volvo, Finley Cadillac,
Yep.
Finley Volkswagen. Let's see here, Las Vegas.
Audi of Henderson.
Audi of Henderson, Las
Godden
Vegas
Porsche.
Jaguar, and Land Rover.
Yep.
Godden Porsche, of
Yep.
course. They've been
Celebrity cars.
Celebrity Cars was out there.
That
And
guy
of
was
course, Vegas
awesome.
Auto Gallery just showed up in spades.
Yeah, I mean, Vegas Auto Guy was the number one.
Yeah,
They were-
Fortis Motors,
amazing.
Specialty Auto Detail.
Did you see that truck Nick had? The guy who runs Vegas Auto
Oh,
Gallery?
the,
Yeah,
it's
that
like a mini
semi-
semi.
What was that thing?
It's like a mini semi.
It was like a mini
was,
semi.
yeah.
It was like a pickup truck
Yeah.
that was made out of a rig. It was insane.
Mhm.
It was insane.
Tony
Pick up another
900
on a
series is always a big supporter. Of
Yeah,
the show.
Tony was great too. I interviewed him. He was
he had
awesome.
fun, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good time.
I got a question for you, Rami.
Yes.
Tell us about the Rami girls. What's the audition process?
Yay! Finally,
like?
something interesting.
Yeah.
All right, to
I
the
mean, like-
Rami Show
Oh,
girls.
let's go back to.
I'll tell you what. The one girl with the dark, the black hair, man, could she dance? She was up on stage. She was amazing.
Did you know her name or?
Of course, of
Is
course
she,
I do.
Is she a professional or is she?
Yeah, they all are. They all are. They're all professional, Jason. They were all professional. They were wonderful. They were great. They had a good time.
You go to like a
And-
casting agency and you're like, I need 5 models.
Plug them. Plug 'em.
Posh Entertainment.
Posh Entertainment. Cool.
That is our go-to for all our showgirls and girls
Yeah,
on
and-
stilts, and the
Oh, I
stilt
did get my
walker
picture
Melanie
with the
was out there.
Stilt girl.
Yeah, she's
yeah,
cool.
she's awesome.
We were the same height. weirdly.
It's true.
yeah,
No, if seriously,
no, the
that's-
girls
you
had a
know,
great time. It was fun rolling around with them. It was fun being on stage with them. I got to sing. Fantastic.
What'd you sing?
Born to be Wild.
Oh,
Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Mental,
Wait,
you
it was
wanted to hop
awesome.
in
In
there?
3 seconds, tell me who sings
So
Born
the,
to Be
the
Wild.
posh
No
entertainment
idea.
girls.
Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
No, it's
You've
not.
used the
Posh
Posh
Entertainment Girls.
It's definitely.
You've used it for a bunch of
Oh,
stuff on the
is
Rami
it?
show.
It is Steph.
And yes, they're gorgeous, but they're fun and they're interesting and
Yeah.
they're smart. And
They're
that
all
is-
smart.
That's really why they're there. It's because they get.
Well, you
What-
have
What
to.
did they
guys are
say?
trying
What
to
did they
do.
say? Was it you, Mental, who told me what they said? Why they were there? I think it was you, right, Mental?
That doesn't sound like
No?
me.
Or was it you, JP?
Well, that's the
You
thing
had a
about
girl-
Vegas
the girls were
AutoFest is
saying-
that that's one of the things that makes AutoFest so unique is that it is a Vegas experience.
Yes.
We have showgirls with the feathers and the whole thing walking around.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
The Rami show girls.
Nick
They were,
from,
they were
from
there. They were
Auto
like-
Gallery
they're like,
next
we
year,
just
he's
like, they just like the show. They like hanging
Yeah.
out at the show. They like hanging out with me. They're like, we have such a good time.
Nick from Auto Gallery wants to give away a Ferrari next year.
Yeah, he's
We're
giving
gonna
away
do
a Ferrari.
hole-in-one
Are you
We're going to
serious?
do
Yes.
a hole-in-one contest.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I mean,
goodness.
You
Awesome.
get a
All
Vegas
hole-in-one,
Auto
you can win a
Gallery.
Ferrari.
Volunteers
Yeah.
exempt?
That's awesome.
No. He said anyone can go into it. They give the Ferrari away at the show.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome, like next
September
year.
16th,
So they're giving
mark
a
your
Ferrari
calendar, guys.
away.
September
Like,
16th.
come on.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron,
Who doesn't want to go to that?
how much is going to cost?
It's going to be a little bit of a spectacle. You know what I'm saying?
My
A little
way.
spectacle. I'll give you a little
With a
on the
Ferrari.
table. Don't worry about it. I got inside.
$286,000. That's how much it is. That's how much to get the car. All right, guys. Well, you know, if you missed Vegas Auto Fest, you missed out. Make some plans to be there on September 16th for next year.
Yeah, get over to Vegas Auto Gallery and buy a car.
And like he
you go.
did, Rami.
Yeah.
What? So what?
Yes!
So Rami, let's talk about this for a second. We'll end the show talking about Rami. Rami got so excited
Did
from
a
one
thing.
of our
did a thing.
sponsors
Mhm.
that he was like, "Oh, look at that car! I think I might want that thing."
Yeah. So
And-
I was at Vegas Auto Gallery and I'm like, ooh, that's a nice car. And I was looking at a different car. And then I get to the show at Vegas Auto Fest and I see that he got another one and it was an SVJ, which is not my
Mental, you got that
style,
up?
anything.
What is an SVJ? Before you talk about an SVJ, tell us what
Super Veloce, whatever that means. I think it means super light.
what's the brand?
Oh, sorry, Lamborghini. It's a Lamborghini. It's the ultimate Lamborghini right now. It's like the last naturally aspirated 6.5 liter V12 engine they're gonna make. It's the last car they're doing. They only produce 900 of them. It has active aero, rear wheel steering, push rod suspension. It's a crazy car, but it's an investment car, and it's not something I would buy normally. But I did it. I pulled the trigger. And it
Rami is
awesome.
now the super Viagra jockey.
Yeah, so
I love
it's
it.
my midlife
Was-
crisis.
Was that
for sure.
car formerly
Right?
owned by
No,
Chris
wait, hold
Angel?
on. Am I right? It could that
Super
be
Viagra SVJ.
super Viagra jockey? That's
I
what
like.
an SVJ.
Oh my god! I
is.
should get that on a license plate.
That's a lot more letters than 8.
Oh.
I
How about on
rode
the
in this
side of
car
it?
with Rami when he bought it.
Super-
I thought I was gonna die.
Oh
It
my
is so
goodness.
loud. You traded in your GT3 RS,
I did.
and
No.
sitting
Do
in
you
the
know why?
passenger seat.
No,
Do you know
won't
why?
Yeah,
tell
tell
me
us why.
that.
Well, it doesn't matter. I've got the new one coming.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Ah,
all right.
Every Porsche guy's like, no. Oh, okay.
Okay. Well,
You said this has straight pipes on it.
Yes, no cats. It's crazy.
We drove
It
down the
sounds
Las Vegas Strip, and everyone thought we were in a rental.
Yeah, everybody thought we were in a rental,
That's
and
the
it sounds like
problem
an
with these
F1 car. It's like wow, screams like that high pitched scream. Oh my god, it's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. The car is ridiculous. It's highly impractical. You smash your head on it when you get in and out of it. It's like you couldn't even fit in it. It's
No,
impossible.
no,
There's
I
no
have
way
no
you couldn't
hope.
fit in it, Duane. And it rides like it's like bounces everywhere. And I went around a corner with JP. I thought we were just going to spin out.
I might be
The
able to
thing's
sit in the
ridiculous.
passenger seat and then put my legs and my arms over and steer it that way.
You could do that. Yeah. You could sit in the engine bay.
I was
you go.
totally waiting for that.
Does
to
the roof
spin
come
out
kind
on?
of
the
like
strip.
that. It's kind of like just sitting on a V12 and driving it because it has that single clutch and it is brutal. And it's fun. It's fun. I have to admit, it's fun. It's a bit.
Did you confirm
It's
that?
a little
Is it a single
tiring
clutch?
to drive. It's a little tiring to drive.
Is it really?
Yeah,
It
it's
wears
a
you
little
out.
wears you
Yeah.
out.
I like
Just
the
sitting in the
Italian
passenger
flag.
seat, I was like,
I'm sure I'm going to
Back
get used
there.
to it, but like the first drive, I got home and I was like, "Whoa, I'm exhausted."
Is that rear tire low
It's
on
a bit of a
Looks a little low.
it's a bit of an event
Might
when you
have to
drive
check
that thing.
your
I think it's the-
tire pressure there.
And
on your rear
like
tires.
everybody, oh, of course, one of the tires is like, I already screwed it up. So I'll get new tires. No worries. I took it to
22,000.
German Motors to show Daniel, and he was like, 4 new tires then? I was like, yeah, thanks. He's like, I'll order them. Like, perfect, dude, perfect. But
Congratulations.
it's definitely
Yeah, that's an amazing
thank
car.
you. It's a douche car, I know, and it's not my speed, but it's a good investment.
Should take it over to Wik's garage and let him tinker on it a bit.
There
What
you go.
I might do is
Is that a
Get
salvage
that.
title?
get that, and then
How does this
JP
come apart?
get that, and then in like 2 years sell it for a profit and get a Carrera GT.
Do you know this
now
guy,
we're talking.
Edmund Mondi? This guy on Instagram that drives around Vegas doing like donuts and on the strip and
Sounds like me.
yeah,
More than Rami,
Is that
really?
a challenge?
like
Wow.
he's the guy. I
Hold
think
my beer moment.
was it
Come on.
was it you, Mental? That
Somebody's trying to out Rami.
Followed up.
Rami?
How can that be?
Jesus.
Come on.
yeah,
Sorry, Duane.
Edmund Mondi, I think his name is. But
Oh, I know that.
he
Is he the
drove-
guy that did the donut in the limo?
I don't know.
No,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
not
he
that.
was
Yeah, that was a good one.
he got arrested for that, didn't he? And
Yeah.
then,
Is that
yeah,
the
but he
same
got.
No, this is a guy that recently went like 200 miles per hour.
No, we did
around
that
here
on
somewhere.
Tuesday. That was
You did?
on the strip.
Do you know that car does 217 miles an hour?
That's what I'm saying. Now you have an opportunity with this car.
We were,
did 200 on the
we were
strip?
Instagram live. And
I was
we were
on the
like
strip
3
on-
figures. It was.
Oh
like-
yeah, no, we were doing 140,
Yeah, in a block.
and because I was going around someone on the strip, I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
You can't tell in that car; it's so big. And then you look down at
This
the
is a
speedo, and you're
huge
like,
car.
"What the?"
I believe that was a mock setup of the strip, right? It wasn't actually a strip. Correct.
Yeah.
Right, we
Set up?
didn't actually go on the strip.
Dude.
Oh yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I wasn't there.
Mhm.
All right, guys, what would you do with a super Viagra jockey if you had the chance to drive one? I'm looking forward to getting behind the wheel of that thing. I will drive it like a grandma, but whatever.
You should
I
drive
won't
it.
Wreck it. I'm super excited. I still want to drive your 993 RS, which I haven't gotten to do.
I'm looking forward to whatever else he has that we're going to go and do a Rami Show episode against.
Are
So-
we going to
Yes.
go
I
out to
would
the airstrip out
Oh,
there?
and shout out to Mental for helping me bring all my cars back to my house. Oh, I think it was 6.
Lucky
We got-
you, Mental.
It was,
Yeah,
but
I
he
know.
was he
You get to drive the turbo?
all night. He was
I
with
had
me.
to
all
drive
night.
What
the
did you
Die
drive?
90,
The
and
Die
it tried
90.
to kill me 6 times.
You were
I
in
was
the what?
so
You
much-
were in the
he was-
D90?
The Die 90.
The
Yeah,
Die,
the
there's
green
the
version.
Die
The
90, which
yellow
is
one.
the nice one,
Wait, which one
and
did
then
you
there's
drive?
the Die 90, which is the 6.2 swapped.
The
Yeah.
yellow, the yellow one.
Yeah.
You drove the
Yes.
yellow car?
He drove it back, yeah.
You drove that?
Does that one have a touchy gas pedal?
Holy crap.
Oh dear God!
You could not kill me.
Oh, the steering.
Oh, you're like doing 80
Roll
and
it.
it's like, you're like, what the fuck? What just happened?
The
That's what it
powertrain
does.
is only bolted to that car with one bolt.
It'll just drive right into
I
a
can't
wall.
believe it.
And I see
Didn't
Mental
snap
behind me.
one giant
I start
bolt.
getting close to 80 and he starts doing this. And I was like, okay, I'll slow down. I'll slow down. I felt so bad. But no, Mental, driving the green car back and the RS was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was a lot of
Always a
fun.
good time.
Wow.
All right, guys. Make plans for Vegas AutoFest next year, September 17th. if you
Come
haven't
win a
already.
Ferrari.
Absolutely.
And thank you again, Rami, for doing a great job at Vegas AutoFest.
My pleasure, buddy.
Jason Alter, thank you so much. Mental, thank you so much. Duane, you didn't do shit. Um,
You didn't ask for it.
yeah, it's true, I didn't. But no, you brought your car out, and I do appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, great show. Great having you guys all there. And thanks for hanging out with another Dur or Die Porsche podcast. You know, subscribe, like, hit the notification button.
Do it.
Do all
it.
that.
Do what
Ring
Dwayne-
the bell, dude.
do
Ring
what
the
Dwayne
bell.
Says.
Do it.
All
Ring
right,
my
let's
bell.
Mental, end the show. For
Ring my
crying out
bell.
loud, I need to drink more.